books you read are not just giving you information? What if they are shaping the leader you are becoming? Because leaders are readers. And what if the right book at the right time can expand your mindset, awaken your purpose, and help you lead from a higher level of consciousness and love? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Love Lead Succeed podcast. I'm your host, Isabelle Tremblay, and I am so grateful that you're here with me today. And this is really the place where we talk about purpose-driven living, mindset mastery, empowered leadership, and the supernatural approach to business and life. And today I want to share my top 5 books for becoming the best leader you can become. And these are books that speak to the mind, the spirit, personal responsibility, consciousness, success, emotional intelligence, and leadership from the inside out. And this is not a traditional book review. I do not want to simply summarize each book. I really want to share why each one matters and what leadership lesson it carries and how each one connects with the messages included in Love Lead Succeed. So my top 5 books are Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, what a classic, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, and my own book, Love Lead Succeed, The Supernatural Approach to Business and Life. And I included Love Lead Succeed in this list for a very intentional reason. It incorporates many of the key elements that I value from the first 4 books and brings them into a leadership framework for the modern high-achieving woman. It touches on emotional intelligence, the power of the mind, the power of a positive mindset, love-led leadership, service, trust, courage, and the journey of becoming the best version of yourself while creating success that feels aligned. So let's start. Book 1 is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book is really a classic because it speaks to the power of desire, belief, persistence, and the mind. It reminds us that success does not begin outside of us. It begins with the thoughts we choose, the vision we hold, the faith we develop in what is possible. And as a leader, this matters deeply. If your mind is filled with limitation, fear, resentment, doubts, that energy will eventually affect how you lead. And it will affect your decisions. It will affect your confidence. It will also affect the rooms you walk into and the possibilities you can see. Think and Grow Rich challenges us to become very intentional about what we think about and what we believe and what we are willing to persist through. It teaches that the inner world is not separate from the outer results. And in Love Lead Succeed, I also speak about the power of the mind because leadership begins within. Before you can lead a team, build a business, or create a new level of success, you have to notice the thoughts that are leading you. If your thoughts are constantly telling you that you are not enough, that it's too late, that you cannot change, or that success must come with sacrifice, well, those thoughts will quietly become instructions for your life, literally. The leadership lesson from this book is simple but powerful. Guard your mind, choose your vision, strengthen your belief. What you repeatedly think becomes the atmosphere you create. Okay, so now let's move to the second book, which is written by one of my favorite doctor, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it's called Becoming Supernatural. And this book expands the conversation beyond traditional success. It invites us to look at the connection between the mind, the body, energy, emotion, and creation. And it challenges the idea that we are simply victims of our past conditions. It invites us to become conscious creators of a new future. And for leaders, this is incredibly important because many people are leading from old survival patterns without even realizing it. They are reacting from stress. They are making decisions from fear, and they are trying to create something new while their nervous system is still living in the old story. Becoming supernatural reminds us that transformation is not only about changing what we do, it's about changing who we are being. It is about shifting our internal state, and it's about no longer allowing the past to become the emotional blueprint of our future. This connects so beautifully with the supernatural approach in Love, Lead, Succeed. To me, supernatural leadership means you are not leading only from strategy. You are leading from alignment, intuition, faith, love, consciousness, and a higher vision. It means you understand that your energy matters, your state matters, your thoughts matters, your emotions matter as well. The way you enter the room matters. The leadership lesson from this book that you cannot create a new level of success while living from the same internal identity that created your old limitation. You must become the version of you who can hold the future you're asking for. Love this book. Okay, so book 3 is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And this book is very powerful because it invites us to look at the ego, presence, awareness, and consciousness. It helps us really understand how much suffering is created when we are identified with fear, comparing ourselves, control, image, and the need to prove ourselves. This is such an important message for leadership. So many leadership environments are driven by ego and who has the title, who gets the credit, who is right, who is powerful, who controls the room. But ego-based leadership is exhausting. It creates competition where there could be collaboration. It creates defensiveness where there could be learning. And it creates control where there could be trust. A New Earth invites us into presence. And it reminds us that we are not our fear, we are not our title, we are not our voice in our head telling us we must prove our worth every day. And in Love, Lead, Succeed, I speak about leading with love, building trust, serving others, and creating success without losing yourself. That requires awareness. It requires the courage to notice when ego is driving the conversation instead of our love. The leadership lessons from this book is this: presence is power. When you are present, you listen differently. You respond instead of react. You see people more clearly. You stop making every challenge a threat to your identity. A present leader creates a calmer room. A conscious leader creates a safer culture. A love-led leader does not need ego to feel powerful. Great book. Book 4, The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I love this book because it brings success into practical action. Teaches responsibility, clarity, belief, persistence, goal setting, and the daily choices that shape our results. So one of the most important message in this book is actually that we must take responsibility for our life. Not in a way that creates shame, not in a way that ignores what we have experienced, but in a way that brings our power back, really. This is essential for leadership. A leader who does not take responsibility will blame the team, blame the market, blame the past, blame the pressure, or blame its environment. But empowered leadership is asking us a different question. What can I own? What can I choose? What can I change? What is the next courageous step? So the success principles also reminds us that success is built through intention and consistent action. This is not enough to dream. It's not enough to wish. We have to align our thoughts, our habits, our decisions, and our environment with the future we say we want. And in my book, Love, Lead, Succeed, I bring this into the leadership conversation because success is not only personal, it is relational, it's energetic, it's emotional, it's spiritual. And the way you pursue success matters as much as success itself. So the leadership lesson from this book, that you are not powerless. You can choose again. You can raise your standards. You can take aligned actions, and you can become a conscious creator of your next chapter. That's a wonderful book. Okay, so our next and final book is Love, Lead, Succeed by moi, Isabelle Tremblay, the supernatural approach to business and life. And you may be thinking, well, Isabelle, why is your own book in your top 5? Well, it's because Love, Lead, Succeed brings together so many of the key elements that shaped my own leadership journey, and that I believe that every leader needs this right now. And Think and Grow Rich teaches the power of the thought, belief, desire, persistence. Becoming Supernatural teaches us to shift our state and becoming conscious creators. A New Earth teaches presence, awareness, and freedom from ego. The Success Principles teaches responsibility, action, and the success habits. Love, Lead, Succeed takes those ideas and brings them into leadership and a life framework that's grounded in love. And it speaks about the emotional intelligence because the best leaders know how to manage their energy, communicate with respect, and create trust. It speaks about the power of your mind because your thoughts are shaping your leadership long before you say a word. It speaks about the power of a positive mindset, not as toxic positivity, but as the ability to see possibility, choose faith, and lead from a higher perspective. It speaks about love-led leadership because success without love becomes empty. Leadership without love becomes control. Achievement without alignment becomes exhaustion. I know, I've lived this. It speaks about service because the highest form of power is not domination. It is contribution. It is lifting others. It is using your influence to help people rise. And it speaks about becoming the best leader you can become by becoming the best version of yourself first. That is why this book belongs in my top 5. It is not simply about business. It's not simply about personal growth. It is about bringing the supernatural into the way we live, we lead, decide, communicate, build, and succeed. When I look at these 5 books together, I see a beautiful progression. Think and Grow Rich awakens the power of thought and belief. Becoming Supernatural awaken the power of energy, emotion, and identity. A New Earth awakens consciousness and presence. And the Success Principles awakens responsibility and align actions as well. Love, Lead, Succeeds brings these lessons into a love-led leadership path that includes mindset, emotional intelligence, service, trust, courage, positive leadership, and purposeful success. I had a hard time saying this one. And this is what I want you to hear today. Becoming a powerful leader is not only about learning more strategies, it's about becoming more conscious, live like awake. Like my friend Michael White would say, it's about taking responsibility. It's about leading from a presence instead of ego. It is about creating success that does not cost you your peace, your purpose, or your soul. The best leaders are not only skilled, they are awake. They are aware of their thoughts. They are aware of their energy. They are aware of their impact on the world. They are aware of the way their words affect others when they speak. They are aware that leadership is not a title, it is a responsibility. Okay, so this week I invite you to choose one of these books and ask yourself what it is calling you to practice. Maybe Think and Grow Rich is calling you to strengthen your belief. Maybe Becoming Supernatural is calling you to stop living from the emotional patterns of the past. And maybe A New Earth is calling you to release ego and lead from presence. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? And maybe The Success Principles is calling you to take responsibility and move into action. And finally, maybe Love Lead Succeed is calling you to bring more love, emotional intelligence, service, and supernatural alignment into your leadership. Do not just read for information, read for transformation. And if you are in a season where you know your leadership is ready to rise, I would love to support you. Send me a direct message with the word rise and let us begin a conversation. Thank you for being here on the Love Lead Succeed podcast. Keep shining, keep growing, keep living with love, and I will see you in the next episode.